convincing in terms of just winning the early game, winning the mid game, and then transitioning well. They were a bit slow and seemed to lack some confidence that they had in the past. But end of the day, it was still 2 convincing wins. And I think IG is still a world-class team that you definitely cannot underrate.
Yeah, I remember you guys were kind of saying, like, when you guys got back, I didn't get a chance to see, like, the whole game at first. I watched it, of course, later on. But you guys were like, yeah, they seemed to play a little bit, like, reluctant in kind of a way. They had, like, this advantage, and they weren't, like, super pressing it. When the IG that we saw at their super dominant stages, they were just, like, go time. Like, they did not hesitate to take team fights or anything like that. But we'll see how it's able to work versus VP, who are, like we kind of mentioned before, these guys are extremely coordinated with their team fights and extremely aggressive.
They did meet at that last major, and VP destroyed them 2-0 in the semifinals, something that was brought up on the team previews, and I think that's something that IG have to really think about this matchup. Like, how are we going to play against VP's very fast tempo in the mid game? Once they get their core items, they have these big team fights. They're really hard to play into, and I think IG need to have an answer ready with the draft.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what we're going to be jumping into now. The draft is ready. Of course, all of those statistics you just saw for the 706 and other, and brought to you by cybersport.com.
Dream
there it
Protector
is. What a surprise! CM
Protector
first.
and Wisp are left in the pool. Or IO.
Wow. Lil's IO, we had sort of sick performance yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see both being snatched up right away.
I think we could.
So they chose to ban, I mean, Clockwork, I can see that, and Darkseer as well, because Darkseer is was it like one of the heroes that opponents always ban against VP?
Yeah.
I saw the stat just now.
Pasha plays it, and they always draft these wombo combos, be it with a Disruptor, the Sladas. They have some hero that will combo with the Vacuum.
Okay, so they take the tree. They're really liking the Troll a lot, too. They picked it with the Mag Troll twice yesterday, I believe.
That's for Ramses, is it?
Yep.
I mean, it's more than likely for Ramses. We did see it ran by Secret in the mid lane, too, but that was like a very...
Can you see no one on Troll, though?
I would prefer to see that on Ramses.
Yeah. And then that's the DP ban as well. That's just because you saw OP on it.
They have a Troll without a Magnus, and I don't know. The hero is gonna be farming a lot though. Like, it's something that, like, when you talk about VP, they like to fight a lot.
Yeah.
And back when Troll was strong, Troll was able to farm fast and then participate, but in this patch it's more like the Troll needs a longer time to farm because the jungle creeps, they give not as much as before, so you get less gold and less experience, so everything slows down for a Troll.
Yes.
And I saw it work yesterday because they had a Magnus, right, that game? I believe they had a Magnus.
They also used it with IO as well to kind of enable him to, like, enhance his farm and bring him around the fights. Yeah, the buffs and just the mobility increase.
I mean, we'll see how it pans out for them this game.
I still feel it can work because I just want to. He's like more like that frontline core that doesn't have to dish out a lot of damage, but is going to soak up a lot of the attention while no one's playing that kind of flashy hero from the mid lane.
Okay.
How do you feel about the double reveal of the supports coming up from IG, the CM and the Kunkka? I mean, it's a combo, but...
I think every draft I've seen from them, they're always first to picking Baboka's hero. I think they just feel they want to secure it. They want to make sure he gets something that he's somewhat comfortable on.
I like the CM here, the choice of the CM, going back for the CM, because we talk about how VP can be really dominant in the laning phase, and CM is the kind of hero like we saw in the EG series.
Right.
Just by giving the aura, it actually makes a huge difference for the other lanes. And she's a hero that doesn't really have much of a downtime, I would call. Like, even though her ultimate got nerfed and you got a really long cooldown now, but you don't really rely on it too much, and he's a hero that always tends to roam in the early game, set up kills, and that's what you want against VP. You don't want to get run over in the early game.
Now it's Virtus.Pro's turn to show a bit of their hands.
Gosh, have they run this combination, 3 Phoenix?
I think did they run it in Kiev?
They weren't. Kiev? That was more like the OG EG.
Wasn't it like OG EG? Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I know that they took the Phoenix from OG one of the games in the finals because it was started like becoming like Phoenix became hotly contested.
Are we gonna see the Phoenix counters? The Nyx? Like Phoenix hates...
Are you surprised that Nyx has got this far?
I mean, not everything prioritizes the Nyx, you know. I know on the panel I always talk about, oh, this hero is so annoying.
But I mean, in the, like yesterday, it was almost a very hotly contested.
Yeah. Like, really not every team values the hero as highly as each other. Some teams think that he's very annoying, but you can play around it.
Sure.
Some teams like, we just don't want to...
Screw it.
Don't want to deal with it.
Earthshaker.
Another Earthshaker.
I mean, right now they have 3 heroes that can team fight really well. A lot of lockdowns.
They don't have good egg hitters at all yet, though.
No one
Against
on the puck.
a team fight against team fight. Puck, Phoenix, Trian. Is this a good anti-mage game? Not sure.
I could be a little bit worried because they're early. They don't really have like great damage. I mean, Kunkka is decent with 6, and like Echo, like, their level 6s are okay, but their early game they can lose buildings quite easily and just get like Sunray with the troll hitting your buildings.
I mean, against Phoenix, like carries that are better is like Weaver or Juggernaut, those that can kill the egg. But Juggernaut is not very good against the Trian and the troll.
They're going to stick with the
Shadow Fiend. They stick with the Shadow Fiend. So CM Shadow Fiend, we kind of said it, right?
4 of their 5 games now.
Yeah.
And that's not that easy. That's not an easy matchup for Shadow Fiend though versus Puck.
And they haven't. I mean, Kunkka was going to be roaming there throwing torrents, but Puck, you've got phase shift to dodge those torrents. It's not exactly an easy lane to help out.
I think most important is the first maybe 1 or 2 waves. You secure his souls, and then he should be fine. The Shadow Fiend should be fine because Puck will definitely destroy the Shadow Fiend at level 1 if you have no help at all. If you have 0 help, like Shadow Fiend cannot lane against Puck. So I would expect the Kunkka bo3 to actually just sit in the mid lane at level 1 and make sure that OP gets the damage from the souls.
Right.
I don't think there's any way around it. That matchup is really hard for SF if he doesn't get any help.
VP will ban out the Jug, the egg-killing carry that was remaining. Seen a Venge with the SF earlier.
Usually, yeah, they just go for the Venge. But Venge is not really that good against their heroes. But I know they like this SF Venge thingy.
Can you elaborate on SF Venge thingy? Is there a thingy?
Like a push threat. Like you just group up. Like the Venge provides a lot of aura and damage for the SF. And if SF is in trouble, you got the swap to save the SF.
Reserve time.
Like personally, I feel like if you are talking about hero that would be good against the enemy, maybe like 8 killer. We want an 8 killer like Ursa, Weaver, this kind of heroes. But those heroes are not heroes that Burning play. He plays the VS most often when they have the Shadow Fiend. Or even the Juggernaut. But Juggernaut's remover.
What are the carries did he play yesterday in the Shadow Fiend games?
They had a Sven game.
They had a Sven game.
Which...
I don't know about Sven against Trian though. I think you get... I don't like it. I think you get owned. And Sven is also not really good against Puck. Because Puck can kite you around.
Yeah, I think Planet Odd learned that yesterday.
I mean, the other possible thing maybe is a Luna, I think. Luna, good team fight and can push. And I actually like Luna more against like their heroes. But there are not many like really good options that stand out that, oh, this hero is really good for IG right now, they should pick it.
So it's a matter of opinion and comfort for them or IG. Their final pick, there it goes.
Oh, they ban out the Venom, so it means they're going to try like a push, something like pushy, because Venom is like a defender. He's going to hold the towers. He has team fight.
Right.
That's where this ban leads me to think.
Okay.
They could still go for something like an Ursa, right? I mean, it's still a possibility. It's not really what he plays too much.
Doesn't like to play the hero too much, though. That's the thing. Like,
especially versus Troll and...
Picking something good for the situation and picking something good for the player, it's not easy.
A hard balance to strike.
Yeah. He played it yesterday, though.
Oh, he played it yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't see that game.
He did play Ursa yesterday.
Okay.
But it doesn't strike me as his kind of hero.
Yeah, I agree.
If you ask me. Okay, this is his kind of hero.
That's his kind of hero.
Wraith King.
Wraith King Shadow Fiend.
I really like this Drew. Giving the SF the aura makes him a lot stronger, having a good front line.
Very similar with the bench. Better frontline tanker, I would say, because you have 2 lives. Better in the lane as well.
Yeah. Gives him the front line, I think, is the very important thing.
I heard that just doesn't care if he can just like blink into a tree and Phoenix, he gets an egged or he gets overgrowth. If he dies, he has that second life, so...
Still don't really think that they have like great egg hitters, though.
Yeah, the heroes are definitely not good against the egg. And there's a Trian on top of that. But they do have a lot of like initiating heroes, like Kunkka, Earthshaker, Wraith King. When you get dagger, you can initiate. So if they jump on the right targets, they focus the Phoenix, they kill him fast. That's going to be a good way of them winning the fights. I'm
pretty concerned still for their early game, though. Their lanes seem a bit weak.
You still worried about SF in mid?
I'm a little bit worried about the SF in mid and just their cooldown they rely a lot on cooldowns in the early game. Like Wraith King ult is extremely long. It's like 4-minute cooldown.
Okay.
Like everything kind of just feels a little bit.
But if they can do well in their lanes, I think it's going to be okay. If the lanes doesn't go bad and Shadow Fiend gets a good start, a solid start, they get a good timing on his BKB, that item is going to be really crucial for him this game.
Definitely.
And they're going to be able to like objective after objective, group up, 5-man, push the towers, get Roshan. That is the kind of game that IG wants to go for. And VP right now, They have Troll, Roshan Taker, 2 teamfight heroes, 3 teamfight heroes, Puck, Phoenix, and Trian. So the offlane hero. For Pasha.
Anything standing out? Pasha preference.
Oh, he's playing the Lifestealer. He's playing the Lifestealer. I think he's playing the. Yeah, he's
before. Yeah.
He's playing the Lifestealer. Offlane Lifestealer.
No absence of vehicles.
There's a Puck.
Puck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Puck and a Phoenix.
I don't know about that though. That's a bit iffy.
Ooh. Does that signify we may be taking a?
But he might be able to sit in the lane to farm well though against their heroes. Do you think?
CM Kunkka and Wraith King.
Do they even put him against like the Earthshaker and like would they consider aggro lane?
Aggro lane.
Because that's a great 1v1 matchup for Lifestealer.
That's true. That's true. That might happen.
That's a really good point.
Oof. Okay, with that said, Gods, you've got...
I'm liking VP. I think they're in really good form. I think their draft makes a lot of sense. The team fight advantage is definitely in their court, so I'll go with VP.
VP, but now it can look. I mean, I'll leave Winter to last because he looks like he's deep in thought right now.
I'm not crazy about Wraith King as a hero overall, and I think that they can get outscaled with this Wraith King Lifestealer. So I'm going to go with VP.
Okay.
I actually think if VP goes aggro lane and they put the Lifestealer 1v1 Earthshaker, Earthshaker is going to beat Lifestealer and they're going to be able, IG's going to be able to do well in all that lane, so I'm going IG.
Okay, there you go. We had the thought process. They thought out loud, but our analysts have already said that Virtus.Pro's laning phase is deadly. And so it's going to be a question of if IG can survive it, if we see Burning do what he does best. And all of those answers are going to be provided by your casters. The voices of the game, we're about to dive in.
No, well, those answers will come from Merlini. I'll just be here to witness.
So first things first.
Yes.
Ramses is playing the Lifestealer, and Pasha is playing the
Puck.
The Puck. They have done the Lifestealer offlane before, but not this game, and they might potentially aggro the Wraith King. We haven't seen Wraith King too much, but I think Wraith King with Halberd could be really good this game. It could destroy the Lifestealer and the Troll. Like,
I'm wondering if he'll ever get to that farm point, though. If this is going to turn into an aggro lane, we're actually going into the game right now, and looks like Ramsey's actually headed to the safe lane with his Lifestealer. So for the moment, it looks like they're going to at least not go for their own aggression from Virtus.Pro. And Invictus Gaming are doing something very similar. Like, they're all smoked up, but Burning is down on out in that southern lane. So no aggro shenanigans from either side. So maybe both sides do actually get that farm you're talking about. You do get that space to build into Halberd.
Think about it, if you aggro, it's harder to put pressure on the safe laner in the mid. So if you want to pressure the SF and potentially get kills on him, then you're going to have have one of your supports missing on the bottom lane. I also don't think Phoenix is very good at all in an aggro. I mean, I guess an aggro duel, it could be okay, but I mean, you're up against CM, Kunkka, and Wraith King. That is very terrifying for any offlaner.
Yeah. Unless you're Ramses. Ramses has dealt with some heavy tri lanes in the past, be it off or safe. Mainly it's been safe with the Lifestealer, and he was that go-to kind of guy in that one position, because you always knew he was going to get farm on that Lifestealer. Always got it.
So looking at the early lanes, we have OP getting the Bounty Rune. Looks like XSS will be going for a block on top of the cliff. So he'll have a relatively easy lane compared to the Puck, although people say that the Dire offlane is a lot easier to block. And so we need to keep our eyes on this mid lane, because it's very
Pasha
important.
actually has it almost blocked at exactly the same point. Just because it's the, as you said, the Dire offlane.
So this is a Quelling Blade, poor man shield, Quelling Blade. A good start for him, and the early soul count is extremely important in this matchup because Tree is there, but Tree can't actually do anything because the creep wave is deep in the middle of the hill, and OP is going to be able to right-click solo out if he tries to come up.
Solo's meant to be one of the worst harassers of this Tree and Protector rotating towards the mid. Yeah, with no trees to work with.
It's the Ogre Tree,
he's got no leech seed, he's got no living armor to work with. Like, he went for the Nature's Guys at level 1.
He's just playing it like Ogre, though. That's his style. That's what he likes playing. That's what he played a lot before. And that's no different in this matchup. It's just important to keep his soul count low.
Top lane, Ramses beating into XXS, and Lil, well, he already lit off everything he's got. Ramses put out his open wounds and went for Icarus Dive. Do you like the Icarus Dive over going for like earlier sprites against the Earthshaker?
I think you want to go for kills on Earthshaker. And
mid lane,
the double
OP's
movement
dead.
is better.
Underneath the tower, and Solo. Well, you said he was playing it like Ogre. He hit level 2, got leech seed, so there goes your slow, and no one just winds up. It's the double slow couldn't reach the safety of the tier 1 tower.
We thought Baboka was going to stay in the mid lane. I do not think they need 3 heroes down here to deal with the puck, especially when your Shadow Fiend is getting bullied. He has 5 souls. That's actually pretty good for him right now, I would say.
Yeah, but he's still 4-1 against a 12-2. Like the panel was talking about it previously. Who was meant to get out on top of this mid lane? No one versus OP. And while Winter was saying 4 times out of 5, it would be no one.
Oh yeah,
and in this case, it's 100% no one. He's 10 CS above the SF. SF can play catch up later, but
no one has a lot of things on OP. He has more experience. I think he's more mechanically skilled, and he also has better roaming supports. Like Solo gives his life and his blood for everything for his cores, and we've seen it time and time again where he's like super sacrificial. In this game, he's very focused on protecting no one.
Yeah. The Solo baits the rune. Bottom lane, another quick jump away by Pasha. This is the second time he's now been escaping from Q. Keeping very close tabs on any other support which will come in thanks to the Observer Ward sitting in that little northern side of the bottom lane. And Solo's going to contest Earthshaker.
He already got the 2-minute bounty rune, and now it's even more problematic for Shaker. And Shaker can't really do that much to zone out a Treant Protector, and it looks like they are not really focused on moving the Crystal Maiden around, just purely in the bottom lane to potentially deal with this puck.
I thought this pull was meant to be nerfed up, so you were incapable of pulling the lane over to the stack.
It's supposed to be very difficult
because it's messed around with Ramsey's CS. Now he's sitting at 16-4.
I think with
to the
Shaker,
17-10 of the Wraith King.
With Shaker, it's possible. I haven't been watching that lane, however.
Yeah. Well, he's done it once now. We'll see if he does it a second time and see exactly how he does it. Well, at least we'll be able to have a look at it. We're still on Russian Observer.
Yeah, he blocks the creeps.
Yeah, so he blocks early, roams it over, and then pulls the camp up. He was a little bit late on it this time, so he only took the range creep. And Lil's coming in here to stop this. Yeah, he very obviously sentry wards underneath XXS.
But the creep isn't going to die. Like, the Hellbear camp isn't going to die, so it doesn't actually matter that the sentry ward is down there right now. But it does actually prevent future stacks from Shadow Fiend coming out.
He fishes earlier this time and then does the pull up. So this time around, he's got the timing right.
Yeah, the Hellbear still has a smash, though. It will do a lot of damage in this camp.
Yeah.
Oh, and he sentryed it already. The battle of the neutral camp.
They really want this pull to work. And it's pretty good for an Earthshaker. Able to get up to almost level 4 from this. He didn't get the secondary pull, and Solo's now come over as well. He's had enough of this.
He might have to just body block it at the start. Yeah. But they're getting a lot now that the supports are so focused on XSS. That's 3 heroes focused on 1, similar to how IG were concentrated on the puck.
And then XSS starts to leech off any of the experience he can get. Having a soul ring, he's quite happy to throw out like fissure after fissure after fissure.
Yep, once you get to this point, you're fine. And he has a TP scroll, so completely safe from these two.
Oh, he might be a little bit too far up this time around, but they have no stuns, so easy TP out. Mid lane, Solo, X marks spot over on him. Torrent's already been committed. The Solo will have to stay in range of that SF. The miss uphill. Solo's regeneration would have been enough to survive anyway. It was the bottle charge coming in from no one.
That was a very fast bottle from him. Very nicely played by no one. And yeah, I don't think that uphill hit would have killed him. He would have had what, 3 armor at the tower.
Does the range of the tower actually extend that far?
By the time that hit, probably.
Yeah, true. All right, well, fun times all around if you're Virtus.Pro as far as the kill board goes. You're still 2-0. You're ahead by about 800 gold and about 700 experience. So it's nice of them on that front. Ramsey's getting some good farm. Troll Warlord also looking very good. The highest CS being your mid. And Pasha's finding levels now on this offlane. Feeling a lot safer having his infused raindrop and 5-1 charges. And no one's actually abandoned the mid lane for the moment, giving it over to Solo, so Solo can play catch-up. Getting closer to having that combination. You're wanting both Phoenix as well as Treant Protector to have their level 6s.
But it's giving a free lane to Shadow Fiend, which I don't particularly like. Look at the last hits, it's almost evened out now in between the Troll and the Shadow Fiend. The net worth still looks like 800 in favor of Troll, but now Shadow Fiend has full souls and he can farm up very, very quickly. And the mid laner gets a ton of experience being able to deny every creep when Tree is not going to have that same luxury.
Torrent just missed. They revealed the fact they would have had vision around the shrine. That defensive observer ward from Invictus Gaming on the top lane. But maybe just the reason why they're giving the free lane is just this roaming, ganking combination. They're worried about OP. Well, Solo is the one to really open up on him. They don't have enough, or do they, with the Sunray? The burn damage doing a good work onto OP. But he still had 7 1 charges up his sleeve.
That was still a pretty good kill threat. Kill threat attempt by VP. They're making far more moves around the map, taking advantage of Wraith King's relatively slow game. Wraith King's not a hero that we see very often, but he is very strong, I would say, at 12. Like, his level, like, 5 to 11 is very weak because his level 1 ultimate cooldown is just way too long at 4 minutes. But once he gets level 12, I think he can fight a lot more often, and that's about the time you get your, like, second item up on Wraith King too, like Armlet Blink or Armlet whatever other item he's going to go next. Usually Armlet Blink, I would say, plus treads.
Do you think it's actually worth going, like, extra attack speed and getting something like an Echo Saber up against Phoenix?
Echo Saber, I think, is too slow for him. I don't think you need the mana regeneration because you have Crystal Maiden, so you're wasting a lot of the you're wasting a lot of the stats on the Oblivion stat portion of it.
Okay.
But potentially Mask of Madness, I'd say, as an alternative to having good attack speed being a mid-game item, whereas not squandering one of the stats on the item. Mask of Madness Armlet is very good on Strength Heroes, as long as you have, because it makes up for your armor issue, and you just do incredible amounts of damage. Normally, your problem with Strength Hero is not doing enough damage. You're being too tanky. Oh my god.
Okay, Pasha. He needs to jump himself away, and he will. Living armor will kick in.
That reveals that he has a 1-1-4 build, which is somewhat important, because then you realize that he's going to be very, very fast at farming neutrals. The level 4 crit is insanely good at just being able to power farm.
Pasha, be careful not to stick around too long. Crystal Maiden's rotating in from behind. As Pasha makes a break for the tree line, Nova will give a little bit of extra vision. It's Pasha. Orbs down very, very deep, and they will not reach him over there.
Pasha's playing very well on the puck. He's not getting rooted. The way he dies is if he gets rooted into a stun. And if you have to use your jaunt to dodge it, you still might die. A lot of action in the mid lane. Torrent connects onto no one.
Yeah, he's got no way out of this. 4 heroes from Invictus Gaming converge in the mid lane to kill off the troll.
That's a big hero to kill. Luckily, he was able to buy. It looks like he spent all of his gold on a Blade of Light.
Ramsey wants to go on top. Phoenix. Oh, the Echo Slam! XXS just shuts him down beneath the Tier 1 tower. Has a Fissure available. Another Totem for another stomp onto the Lifestealer. No open wounds available, but he does have that Infest. So a get out jail free card for the Lifestealer. But that is definitely not what Phoenix was looking for. Icarus dived into the middle of the Echo Slam.
Yeah, a little bit too close. Speak of flying too close to the sun.
Get your wings clipped.
Yeah.
Get some lotion.
Right into an Echo Slam. That's the worst. Chaos Dunk.
It's when sun hits Earth.
Which one wins? Isn't it usually...
Well, it's got to be the Earth, because well, at least dirt would put out fire.
Ideally, but if Earth is like grass, then fire beats grass.
True. Definition of Earth, though. Earth is dirt.
Earth is a very broad term.
It is.
Earth is just like the layer in between the middle of the Earth and the ground you stand upon, or in your feet, I suppose.
Where's Webster's dictionary?
Well, we have a lot of elements here. There's Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, the ice.
There's
the ice
fire.
queen.
Treant is also Earth. Earthshaker's also Earth. We're missing air. I guess flying. I don't know. This puck doesn't really strike me as an air guy. Windlace, meh. That's
are we like Puck is like the air avatar? A little trouble for Treant in mid. Gets hit by the boat. Thanks to Living Armor, he survives a long time, but OP. With those 36 souls, he has more than enough damage to rip through the Treant.
Living Armor is not good versus Torrent at all.
Oh, the X marks the spot onto no one, and no one's like, okay, well, I better fight. But he gets instantly pulled back at the Torrent. Another quick raise. OP didn't have a lot of raises to work with. He already triggered them for the wave, and with the no egg down held in place, there will be enough to reach him for the stun. It won't be, but the Sunray will do the work. Shadow Fiend will fall. X marks spawn turret will not work on Pasha, able to phase shift himself away to safety. And the Shadow Fiend, OP, the big one that really falls in the mid.
Very good spirits by Lil. You got spirits on both of those cores, and they were just unable to turn around and right-click that thing down. And some other synergy too, the blind mischance, the treant, overgrowth. Like, there are a lot of ways to stop IG from killing the egg, and they don't have good egg killers to begin with. No one with super long range or super high attack speed.
Well, this was the big issue we're looking at in the draft phase. When Phoenix kicked in, you're like, okay, well, what are they doing from range? If SF does actually have the Dragonlance, maybe that'll be easier for him to attack without putting himself in such peril.
He's going for a Shadow Blade, so that's some extra attack speed. Usually you'll see Drums. I would say Drums is very good at killing the egg, but the only person I guess who would build it is Kunkka or Crystal Maiden, and none of them have any sort of money.
One way to dodge the egg. Requiem Assault's point blank range on top of the Phoenix. If Lil doesn't realize what's going on, you just win the fight before the fight even comes.
Yeah, it's a good way to start the fight. You need to kill those supports. So these supports are very important to kill, or else Treant is going to get like multiple roots, and 2 rounds of Phoenix spells is going to be too much for them to deal with. They don't have a good way to stop the Sun Ray. The best by far is Nyx Assassin with Carapace, but this game, Fissura's okay, I suppose, but...
Oh, no one's visible. They got the Blink Dagger from XXS, and with the Observer Ward, they understand where no one's running, but instead, they look towards the mid lane. Treant Protector, there's a Sentry Ward down, but Ramsey comes also to the front line, looking for the kill over on Q. One more swipe, he's able to get it. The egg is down, so again, VP creates space with the Overgrowth. IG have no other choice but to stay there. Caught inside the Dream Coil as well. The Sunray will turn on, and everyone's getting a tan on Invictus Gaming. XXS will fall. Wraith King, the sole survivor, scampering away down to the bottom lane, but the perfect fight for Virtus.Pro.
Fire beats ice and earth. One element to rule them all. Ramsey's had a really nice dodge. He infested inside right before the Echo Slam came out. And after that, there was no chance that they were winning the fight with the nicely placed coil.
You know, I know Burning has Armlet, and to have this battle with Pasha,
I think not.
he's actually got his reincarnation. But you never really want to have that triggered, especially before you got level 2 on your reincarnation.
Real men wouldn't skill up reincarn and play like that.
OP's in trouble. Open Wounds is up. Lil already found him, put the Sprite on him, and then followed up with the Sun Ray. No one was in the neighborhood with the double damage rune on the Troll Warlord to ensure that last point of damage kicked in.
Shadow Fiend doesn't do well versus this sort of lineup. Like, you need BKB, Troll owns BKB, Root owns BKB, and if you don't get BKB, there's all this magic from the team fight that's just going to control you up, and you have a lifesteal running at you.
Long range Fissure, blink into Stomp, and then the glorious Q. That's a very long cooldown, freezing field out.
I'm very worried for how this Shadow Fiend is going to get back into the game. Like, Shadow Amulet is decent, but in terms of a straight team fight, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to walk around, especially when when Treant Protector has committed to some Sentry Wards already. So BKB coming out soon for no one. No Vlad's build first, a little bit surprisingly from him.
Isn't this the time though when you start looking at the other players of Invictus Gaming? So yeah, SF is going to have a hard time. But you've got an Earthshaker with a Blink Dagger, XSS has that initiation, you have Kunkka, one of the great teamfight controllers, if you get your Ghost Ship off correctly, if Torrent and Xmark can do work for you as well.
I just don't think they can combo down the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is going to be so big and bad. With Armlet on, sitting around 2,000 HP, you have a Sun Ray to back you up, and you can just turn around immediately with Rage and Lifesteal and Battle Trance and Open Wounds, and he can get up real quickly, and Living Armor. So because they can't burst anyone down very quickly, they have to deal with the massive amount of team fight. The Puck Burst, the Phoenix Burst. But if they can find the ideal Echo Slam on 2 or more of these supports, then it is going to be a fight one for them, because then the other heroes can run in and do some damage. But Wraith King's not going for a mobility item.
Yeah, he's going for damage.
Damage. So we see Armlet and Dezo, but this means you have to walk into the fight. That is a tough thing to do as a Wraith King.
It's a shame you can't ride the shark into battle. That would be one easy way to get him to the front lines.
Kunkka buff, and bring allies to the...
Yeah, you catch it like a snowball. They just like grab the mast and swing into battle. A pirate's life for me.
Yes. That makes it seem like more of a cruise ship than a ghost ship, though.
Cruise ship. you just there like drinking a cocktail going into a battle.
Well,
but what would you have for a Cruise Shark?
doesn't matter. TI-8 theme, dude. TI-8, new prestige item.
OP's on the run. Here goes Direct. The Fissure. Well, that's just trying to keep them all out of play, Virtus.Pro. So the Nova will trigger out. Kunkka will be burned to the tree line. But while they're killing off Kunkka, OP is capable of TPing away to safety.
Well, no detection.
I just got this image now of like, if all 5 heroes ride the shark in, you just have this like SpongeBob SquarePants. Whoa!
That would be cool though. Some of these heroes want to, like, oh, what if you right click it and then you can hop on?
Yeah.
That would be the play.
Yep.
Because then Wraith King doesn't need a Blink Dagger. Just ride the waves.
I think we are geniuses, Melini. Absolute geniuses.
We're onto something here.
Mad geniuses, but geniuses nonetheless.
Kuga doesn't need a buff. When he falls out of the meta, then Ice Frog, please.
Well, that's why you keep him in the meta by giving him a nerf on one of his other things. Like, you just make it like a little bit less useful for the X marks a spot, but then you buff his ult.
Okay, this is the time for IG. They need to take a fight.
Big smoke.
There is at least level 12 on Wraith King right now, but
he still doesn't have the Desolator.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. How does he walk into the fight?
I do not know, but hey,
tough.
That's the mystery. It just works out in the end if you're IG. Or it fails horrendously and you all go down to the depths to meet Davy Jones.
VP have such good vision on the left side of the
Solo's
map.
going to break the smoke. Q's already visible. They put down the sentry. They see Solo backing up, but Ramses, okay, also walks into a melee creep. They get the X mark spot. A quick little Wraithfire blast into a torrent. Still hasn't got the rage off, but he has Infest. But then again, he has Lifesteal. Just opening up on burning. The perfect dream call. The backlines. The overgrowth from Solo is still keeping Invictus Gaming out of this fight. Echo Slam jumping, and here comes the Shark! No. All over Virtus.Pro in front of the Tier 1 tower. That is the fight they wanted. The question is, can they get more? Pasha into the trees will complete his TP. Ramses is still here to defend the tower, but without the Treant Protector, without the Troll Warlord, it looks like they don't want a bar of it.
That was not communicated properly by Virtus.Pro. As we saw, they took down the Wraith King very, very fast, but keep in mind, everyone's still slowed from the reincarnate. They could not approach to the south side of the fight where Treant had them rooted. And also, they did not have Egg. Egg was about 3 or 4 seconds away from being off cooldown when those teammates got echoed. Excellent play by IG. Very good timing. Even though VP saw it coming, they did not approach the fight correctly and lost something big, including the net worth lead. Now swinging in favor of Kunkka and his precious ship.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while that Invictus Gaming have actually held that lead. They held it for like maybe 2 gold for about 2 seconds.
Oh, now he has Dezo. Now they can do Roach. This is awful for VP. This is bad.
And we go for the old classic trade-off for Tier 1 tower on bottom lane for Roshan. Wait. VP, no. They're keeping over, but can they get there? The damage output from Invictus Gaming. They kill off Roshan. The Fissure will catch both Lifestealer as well as Troll. They're too late.
That losing that fight gave Wraith King a Dezo, and then it also gave Shadow Fiend more levels in presence of the Dark Lord. They don't need a medallion. Actually, they do have a medallion on Q. So we're talking about like minus, casual, like minus 18 armor. That's pretty good when you want to kill Roach before a Troll can get there. And now, Troll is not in a good spot. He was doing very well in the early lane, and then he died due to a 4-man rotation by IG, and now he doesn't get Roach, and now he also doesn't have a proper farming ID. He only has a Yasha, which is okay, but on top of that, he has the BKB, and they just got crushed in the fight. Do you really want to go in now?
Probably not.
But that's what their team is built around. Look at their heroes.
But can you delay it? Like, is there something which you can work towards that gives you an advantage in the next fight?
Well, you can get a Halberd on Lifestealer and just kite the Wraith King.
Well, he's got that now.
There's 2 heroes, though, that you need to be able to disable. Like, the Shadow Fiend and the Wraith King put out a lot of damage. And even so, I don't know if some of the other heroes are going to be able to run away from the fight. Like, anyone else aside from the Lifestealer can get X back in, and they still will be able to hit them after the disarm wears off. Yeah, disarm lasts a long time, but Kunkka X is excellent at making sure that you commit to the fight. And Wraith King is one of the heroes that doesn't actually care that much about getting disarmed. Like, you can just get in there, and you can't ignore him.
As we saw in the last fight, it's actually exactly what Burning wants to do. He wants to get himself into a position where he dies really close to the VP front lines, because it allows the Invictus Gaming backlines to do whatever the hell they want. Solo, Oh, that ward lasted a grand total of half a second.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He did try and get one other aggressive ward down, but that also got dewarded. He put it just south of the Radiant Ancients on the north side. And it also got taken down. So vision-wise, they're blind. Virtus.Pro, I actually don't believe that with those D-wards, yeah, they don't have a single observer ward on the map at the moment.
They committed a lot to that prior smoking. Remember, they had observer wards all the way on the left side of the map. They scouted out the smoke kink by process of elimination. They didn't even bother using a scan, and then they got rolled. And now that they invested so much in observer wards, everything's fallen down. They haven't been able to make an aggressive smoke maneuver. They have to play into this Shadow Fiend with Aegis and this Wraith King with Blink and Armlet. Now, he wasn't that farmed. He didn't even have Deso before the last fight, but now he's huge.
Now he has the Deso, he has the Blink Dagger, OP is rapidly approaching his Silver Edge, and they're just forcing down the building so much faster than Virtus.Pro are capable of doing it. Ramsey is now looking at his own Desolator, but this is still a little bit off. Puck's not going to help him, and the Troll Warlord's still trying to play catch-up, building in for Diffusal Blade, trying to burn away some of the mana of the Wraith King.
Ooh, that's going to be tough. I don't know if he's going to be able to burn enough mana.
And even if he does, like if Wraith King can reach 25, then he can have the no reincarnation mana cost. Obviously, the reincarnation casting Wraith Fire Blast is what you would like to have if you can keep your mana up.
I'll be good at chasing down some of the supports too, but yeah, I don't know if he can survive that long. I guess he can PKB and try and Zerg, but even then, he still have to deal with the Kunkka boat. The Kunkka boats are really good at making sure people don't die.
Smoke up.
I haven't really thought about the synergy with him. However, that's almost 3 lives for him if you get a boat on him early enough.
Invictus Gaming are looking for an opening. At the same time, Virtus.Pro are grouping up themselves just between their Tier 2 and Tier 3 tower. They look very uncertain about where they want to play this. And this is exactly where Invictus Gaming looked to fight previously. Almost exactly the same maneuver with their smoke that didn't work before.
I don't think they're going to find anyone. If they do, maybe Solo, but...
Solo comes close and breaks the smoke on burning. So they know he's nearby. But they would like someone to come into the Tier 2 tower and bottom. That's what they want to fight. The Shadow Fiend is already forcing the lane in, so OP will bring them.
Wow.
And if VP do not fight, then they lose the Tier 2 tower.
VP, it looks like they're about to smoke on their own. There's a very strange build coming out from Phoenix. He is going for a Rod of Atos first item. So no Midas, no Veil, no Mech, no Shivas.
Well, the mindset just becomes like we kite the Wraith King and don't deal with him. We just leave him in one position.
I think it's hard because they have 2 melee heroes as their right-clicking cores. It's like even if you Atos the Wraith King, like Lifesteal's still gonna have a difficult time just like running past them. And Wraith King usually gets BKB at some point. This tower is getting chopped down, but
at
the same time,
they saw it. Q understands it, puts down the sentry ward, and now with a jump forward, you actually have the Infest Bomb doing serious work. The Conqueror is down. Requiem Assault does a little bit, actually buying time for OP, but he'll still get connected on by that Nova. Troll, somebody put him down. OP still standing his ground. They just kept walking past him. Thanks to the invis of Shadowblade, but that won't last long enough.
His age just expired. They actually didn't finish him off.
What?
He would have died anyways, but it was still a cool little thing coming out from VP. They killed the Kunkka at the start of the fight. They blew him up with the Infest Bomb, no boat, and very poor positioning from them. Wraith King, ideally he wants to be in the front. It looks like he's just going to chop him down. Oh my god, Solo.
Yeah, chop down that tree. Solo. You wouldn't think fire, we're talking like the battle of elements. How does fire heal foliage? That shouldn't work.
Maybe he's some sort of like infernal hellish tree.
You feed the fire in the treant soul?
Yeah, it's like a treant demon, like Shadow Fiend, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. That probably doesn't make sense. I don't know where I'm going with this. Ignore what I just said.
you just have it. You have this now. You create things called combo abilities. So when you actually use the Firefly, the Sunray on the Treant Protector, he just turns into this flame tree that's just able to punch, takes damage, but does more damage himself with flaming fists.
That sounds like Flame Guard from Ember Spirit. Now we're turning...
But then you're going to have it with your fists. It's only on the punches.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Combo abilities coming soon to Dota 2. That's going to be 8.0. Anyway, back at the real game of Dota. Desolator is done on Ramses. So now VP have a better way to force down the buildings. While they were still a little bit behind in the net worth, it's going the way of Invictus Gaming. The experience goes their way, and with these abilities, with these new items, they can just force through the buildings, and they will repair that gold deficit.
God, Pasha's farmed, or sorry, no one's farmed. My God, it's pretty hard to keep up with the Shadow Fiend, especially when you don't go with Vlad's, but he has just been chalking up the net worth.
Well, he didn't join a lot of the fights. He spent a lot of his time at the Ancients. So this is probably one of the big areas he did it.
I mean, he's been in 10 out of the 12 kills. He's still active, and Battle Trends does not give you assists.
Burning is really uncertain if he wanted to go on Ramses. They want to defend the tier 2 tower, but they don't have Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's TP only just now came off cooldown. So he can join the fight when he wants to. The Rod of Atos is also completed and flowing out to Lil.
This halberd is so good. I'm very surprised that Burning doesn't get one. Because if you cast on a Lifestealer before Rage, oh man, that would be glorious. But that's pretty hard because he's usually coming out of an Infest Bomb. But even casting on Trouble before BKB would be useful.
So they're just trying to repair or increase the armor deficit, sorry, by having the full AC.
Yeah, AC is just a lot safer. You don't actually have to cast anything, especially versus these magic immune heroes. You would want something like this. They also need a Solar Crest up on Crystal Maiden, but it seems like that's going to take a while to come out. I would like to see a Vlad's coming out from their team too. I think that having that amount of lifesteal on a Wraith King just almost certainly will win a man fight despite the bash.
The Kunkka may be able to buy that now. He just bought a 4-star, so
yeah,
he can open up his next item slot.
4-star's way more important versus the Lifestealer Bomb. You need to be able to kite this Lifestealer during the Rage. They were trying to tank it through with Reincarn, but that doesn't work out when Wraith King is not in front. So next Roche is going to spawn pretty soon, and
we're looking at for the time. So 47 seconds until Roshan's up.
Yeah, but it could be up right now, and both teams have to play like it could spawn any second. And IG, we saw how fast they could take it last time. VP are probably like, what the heck, they can take it that fast, and they cannot really leave this area safely. Just farm the Ancients, farm that area, and keep eyes with Solo. Solo is inside the pit right now. IG looking to get a jump on someone. They see Solo,
it's the Sentry.
Oof, they do not. Oh, okay.
Solo is out here for a dewarding, and they're going to find him right inside the pit. This is 18 seconds before Roshan is going to spawn.
That was a great torrent by him, because he knew that Solo was going to hide right inside the Roche pit where you would normally be fogged, but the preemptive play from bo3 might secure them this Roshan. It's about to respawn, and are they going to walk in time?
Yeah, the perfect timing. Wait, does the vision from the torrent stick around?
Oh my God,
It doesn't. Half a second. Q, throw a Nova in there.
Well, maybe it works out better for them because VP were certainly ready to swoop in to take that fight.
Don't think he really planned to be this close towards Pasha. X marks spot and torrent, not going to be able to work. He'll have to 4-star himself up and take the stun, but it gets him out of vision of Virtus.Pro. Oh, they just put down a fresh Observe Ward right underneath the Sentry, which scouted out Solo previously.
This is bad for VP. No vision advantage. They have one on the right side of the hill.
Yeah, they have one on their side of the river, and then the only other Observe Ward they've got is on the southern Dire Shrine. Oh, jump forward, Pasha! The Echo Slam is instant for the disable. Goodbye, Pasha, and goodbye any chance of defending Roshan. He does not have buyback.
And with Puck being so popular now, it's no wonder that we see a lot more Earthshaker. The instant cast disables are incredibly good, but bo3 probably a better carrier in the Arcane Rune with a double boat potentially in a fight. Here we go.
Atos, it held the Wraith King in position. The BKB's gone out from no one, but remember, Burning, he can be disengaged out by the 4-star of Kunkka. X marks spot, it's over on Ramsey. He'll have to rage this off. But Wraith King can just go back in again. There's nothing that stops him from doing this. It's 18 seconds now before the puck will be back up. But 18 seconds is an eternity for Virtus.Pro.
There's no troll BKB. He will get massacred inside the pit if he decides to go. And he doesn't have a blink. So that's that. IG will get the Roshan. So the way the fights need to go for IG, they just need the Earthshaker to be able to disable a hero, kill a hero in the Echo Slam, and most importantly, Wraith King has to be in front of the fight. And VP either need to try and skirt around the back of the fight and flank them and kill the supports, kill the Shaker, or they need to just stall out until later in the game.
They're about to try and kill top lane with the Shaker. If it's possible to do it, you'll have to blink into an instant fissure, combining it with a Requiem of Souls from OP. There's your fissure, there's your Requiem. No rage to protect him. Wonderfully executed from IG.
He got a little unlucky in that he didn't get any dodges, which potentially could have saved them.
Hey, Don. Run away, run away, run away! She can't run fast enough.
Yeah, this is bad because in the straight man fight, IG are destroying them.
Solo. The ship will connect. XXS comes in, another fissure, but the Sunray from Lil's going to help him out. Not to mention the Rod of Atos.
I don't agree with the Atos.
They realize OP's there, but Burning jumps in so quickly. Solo's already down. You'll lose Lil as well. Nothing to save himself.
This Atos, I think, is actually costing them a lot in the team fights. It just doesn't do that much. Like, you don't want to use spells on a Wraith King. You need to be able to get, let's say a Solar Crest. A Solar Crest, I think, would be great for them. They can focus down heroes, they can make the life stealer even beefier and enable him a little bit more.
They don't even have a medallion. They're not even like a fraction of the way there.
Maybe a Force Staff so they don't have to use their BKBs to jump on in. Maybe a Midas so they can get Shivas to sort of mitigate this physical damage. But
this TP in. Ballsy from Ramses comes to the front line, wants Burning, but once again, these Force Staffs. It was XXS that was pushing Burning out. They've actually got the double Force Staffs that can give the escape distance from anyone that gets open wounds.
And IG have found their footing again, I think. It's I think a lot of it has to do with the more unusual picks. Like the Earthshaker from XSS, they've tried a lot of different offlaners for him. I think they picked LC earlier, Tidehunter, and it just wasn't working out because of the pace that the hero requires. But Earthshaker, I think, is a much more upbeat, faster hero that they need, especially when they pick these slower heroes like the Wraith King. And you know, Wraith King is a hero that I don't believe we've seen at all in Epicenter, but it is destroying these heroes that rely very heavily on those BKBs and Magic Immunity. It is great at getting that first Valley out from them.
Poor Q.
Yeah, poor Q.
Arch's going to kill him off. Meanwhile, towards the north, here comes your smoke maneuver. Echo Slam, instant again. No way to rage. They even threw the shark at that one. And the X marks the spot. It hit no one. He'll have to BKB again.
2 BKBs completely wasted for him. That is a disaster. And with his Aegis and Cheese on Wraith King, they are surely going to try and get another lane of racks. 1 melee rack's already down. And the end is in close sight for VP as they don't even have a buyback on Lifestealer. Oh no.
This is problematic to say the least. Virtus.Pro. They need to defend this. The puck. Wait, he just cancelled his TP. He was TPing towards the front lines. He was all the way down the bottom lane. And he cancelled his TP halfway through.
He doesn't even have mana anyways.
He doesn't.
That's 2 sets of
GG, well played. They just call it. 34 minutes. The game is done. And Invictus Gaming take game 1 against the, at that point, undefeated team in Group B, Virtus.Pro. They were 4-0, 2 clean sweeps. And now it's Invictus Gaming. They'll bring them up to 4-1.
Well, they got a little bit of momentum after destroying Clutch. I would say that's very important for a team like this. When you only have 4 best-of-3s, and if you drop your first 2, it is just so much harder to climb back mentally. But I think this game was very key. Those like 4 minutes where they fought in between the egg cooldown, they smoked, they wrapped around Burning, and then they immediately sneak for